Political dynasties are among the most enduring and controversial features of Philippine politics. From Congress to local governments, the same surnames appear election after election, raising a fundamental question: is this consistent with the Constitution's democratic ideals? The 1987 Philippine Constitution directly addresses political dynasties under Article 2, Section 26. It states, "The state shall guarantee equal access to opportunities for public service, and prohibit political dynasties as may be defined by law." This provision expresses a clear policy against the dynastic concentration of power. However, there's a crucial detail. It is not self-executing. This means it requires a specific enabling law from Congress to define what constitutes a political dynasty and to implement the prohibition. Without such a law, this constitutional mandate remains unenforced. Since 1987, multiple anti-dynasty bills have been filed, but to this day, none have passed into law. The irony here is profound. Many lawmakers who are tasked with creating this law belong to dynastic families themselves, creating a clear conflict of interest in enacting legislation that could disqualify their own relatives from running for office. Data from the Ateneo Policy Center reveals just how deep this issue runs, showing that over 70% of the members of the House of Representatives come from established political families. This legislative gridlock reveals a structural imbalance in the Philippine political system, where democratic ideals clash head-on with entrenched familial power. While there is no national anti-dynasty law, some local governments have attempted to regulate dynasties through local ordinances. However, these efforts often face significant constitutional challenges. In the case of Bulan versus COMELEC, decided in 2015, the Supreme Court reaffirmed that only Congress possesses the property to define and prohibit political dynasties as mandated by the Constitution. This ruling underscores that without congressional action, any local or administrative attempts to curb dynasties remain on legally fragile ground. At a policy level, unchecked dynasties can erode the core principle of equal political opportunity. They can foster patronage politics, where loyalty to a family becomes more important than public service, and limit genuine representation for ordinary citizens. This directly contradicts the spirit of social justice and democracy woven throughout the Constitution. Political dynasties directly test two fundamental democratic principles. First, the principle of equal access to public service, which holds that every citizen should have a fair chance to participate in governance based on merit, not bloodline. Second, the principle of accountability and representation, which demands that power should be exercised for the common good, not to perpetuate a family's influence. Provisions like Article 13 on social justice and Article 11 on the accountability of public officers reinforce that governance must serve the people, not private or familial interests. So, while political dynasties may not be strictly illegal in the Philippines today due to the absence of a defining law, they are arguably unconstitutional in spirit. They undermine the egalitarian vision of the 1987 Charter. The issue of political dynasties lies at the crossroads of law, politics, and morality. The Constitution clearly envisions their prohibition, but the continued silence from Congress keeps the system unchanged, until an enabling law is finally passed. The prohibition on political dynasties will remain a constitutional promise unfulfilled. Ultimately, reform depends not only on finding the right legal definitions, but also on summoning the political will of both our lawmakers and the voters who elect them. Political dynasties in the Philippines may be legal for now, but we must remember that legality is not the same as constitutionality, nor is it the same as justice. Thank you for watching. If you found this legal explicable helpful, please like this video and subscribe for more content.